According to the Office of National Statistics, at the time of recording this video, housing costs have risen by a staggering 7.8%. It's the highest it's been since 1989. For me personally, money can always be an issue, especially if you have a family that you have to support and you also want to enjoy your hobby. So these are some really great ways to help save those pennies in just small little tweaks and changes. So how can we keep those costs down but still enjoy the hobby? Today, I want to give you 5 money saving tips to help keep the bank balance in check in this cost of living crisis. Number 5, turn off your heaters. Most of the time, if you are indoors and your house is at room temperature, 9 times out of 10 when having tropical or freshwater fish, you can not have a heater. It depends on how the heat fluctuates throughout the day in your house, but if it's quite consistent, then you are pretty good to not have your heater on. So you can technically not have one or keep the heater switched off, especially in the hotter periods of the year. It's a great benefit. Not a lot of people know about it. A lot of fish are very temperamental to intense changes in temperature, but if the room is consistent enough throughout a day or a couple of weeks, then you should be absolutely fine with this. Number 4, switch from filters to air pumps. Filters are great. They're very powerful. They have the pump already in the actual unit itself, and then you have a sponge, or if you've got canister filters, then obviously it goes into a big huge unit. A lot of the times you could just use an air pump, one of those ones with the airline tubing that goes through. You can connect them to multiple valves and then have them dolly off into multiple aquariums. And a lot of the time you can run these through sponge filters where the tube goes into the top and then it pushes bubbles through and filters the water that way for a sponge. Or if you're like me, maybe just connect it to an air stone. As long as you've got the movement on the surface, then I feel that you should be fine. Especially if you've got planted aquariums, then the plants are going to be that natural filtration that your aquarium needs anyway. And then you could just add a pump to it if you really wanted to. But it's a great way of saving money, especially if you can get a bigger air compressor pump that can run, say, multiple fish tanks like in my room here. Then you are saving, in theory, a lot of money that way as opposed to running multiple devices. Also, there's less things to go wrong, which is also another big perk. Number 3, set lights on timers. Not a lot of people do this still, but it's a really great way of doing it. You can buy smart plugs these days, cheap as chips, and they're a great way of connecting them to your phones. And then all you do is plug your lights from your aquarium into the smart plugs, and then you can set routine timers. It's great for the plants that you're trying to grow or the fish. It keeps them in a routine. It means you don't have to have your lights on all the time. It means you won't forget also to turn off those lights at specific times, so you can keep a more measurable thing. Obviously, keeping control of the lights also helps with algae if that's something that concerns you. It's a really good tip to have. Also, just switching those timers and having just an hour or a minute can save you kilowatts of energy. So it's a really, really great way of saving money. And also, a lot of these apps come with like energy saving graphs on them, so you can see how much usage your aquarium lights are, and maybe it's then time to invest in a different type of light that might be more economical. But it's just a great starting point to see how much usage you're using and save a little bit of money too. Number 2, recycling fruit or veg. You don't have to go and spend loads of money on fish food like flakes or pellets or specialized ones when you have probably a fridge full of fruit and veg that are either starting to go out of date, or that you just haven't used, or they're just sitting there in bulk loads. Cut a little piece off and give them to your fish. A lot of different aquarium fish like pleco is common that people say that they like cucumber and zucchini, those type of vegetables, but you can also feed fish various other different things, especially shrimp. Shrimp will eat practically anything regarding fruit and veg. I've tried so many different things in the past. I've tried banana, strawberries, grapes, lettuce. I've tried the lot, and they tend to take a lot of different things. Also, if you have a garden that's quite wild, stinger nettles are also a fantastic one. There's so many health benefits to using stinger nettles for shrimp, for example, especially with the coloration and stuff. There are a lot of natural sort of chemicals that will come out of those leaves, just like various botanicals, and it also helps with that ecosystem, but it's saving your money. I mean, if you're going to throw the stuff away, say like your kids haven't finished all their tea and there's a bit of broccoli left, maybe try it and see what your fish take what. Some are vegetarian, some are carnivores, so it depends on what fish you've got, obviously, but it's a great way of saving money on lots of fish food and outlaying lots of money there. I know fish food technically isn't that expensive, but if you've already got it in your fridge, it's in a different edition. It helps keep that varied diet for your fish as well, so it's a win-win in my view. If you think I've missed any money saving tips, make sure you let me know and others in the comments below, and also if you could hit the like button so it helps spread this video to more people and this message. And number 1, top offs, not full water changes. Many people like to keep their aquariums tip top and in shape by doing a 20%, 40% water change weekly or twice a week. And that helps with keeping those nutrients down depending on the livestock in the aquarium and how many other variable factors there are. But if you are looking to save water, you don't need to do a full water change every week. You could do one once a month, for example, or 20% once a month, and then just do top offs. And what a top off is essentially you are just replacing any water that's evaporated over time in your tank. So it's just the case of just getting a jug or something and just replenishing the water back up to the level it once was. And that's a really great way of saving water and also money in the long run. So it's a fantastic one to do. If you've got good aquariums with that are well cycled and well balanced and matured, then it gets even easier with this method. Obviously, if you're in the new stages of cycling aquarium, you still probably need to do those 20% water changes or whatever you're doing. When you start to get a few months down the line, then you can start going down the top off method. So if you're like me and you've got multiple aquariums, using the top off is really good. It's quicker as well, and also I'm saving money in the long run. If you enjoy top 5 lists or educational videos, then make sure you click this playlist right here for more. And until next time, you stay safe.